Exactly. Hello, hello, hello. This is Andrew Turner, host and founder of the GNT Sessions podcast. And today we have an amazing guest, another amazing guest, Mr. Alex Northstar Enache. Is that right? Is that pronounced right? Correct?
You're almost there. Do not worry about it. You
Alessandro.
got it. Alex Northstar Enache. You can call me Alessandro. You can
Enache.
call it Alex. You can call me the AI guy with the golden tie. I'm happy to be here, Andrew. Buongiorno. How are you feeling? How's it going?
Buongiorno. You got to get the things like that.
No, please. I have to explain this every time to my international friends. When we do this in Italy, it's a bad thing. If we're doing this, something is going wrong. So
Really?
trust me, you don't want to be doing this in Italy.
I thought.
The more you know.
All right. Okay. There you go. Well, I knew I was going to learn something today, and I've learned that in the first 10 seconds. So you know.
Let me teach also something about pineapple pizza that everybody should know. Don't put them together. Thank you.
Yeah, no Hawaiians available in Naples.
No, sir.
Right, well, so we're streaming this episode live as we only could do. I've been going a bit crazy the last few months, actually, doing more live streams, impromptu live streams. So it's a worldwide first, actually, Alex, or Alessandro. It's actually a worldwide first that we've done the GNT sessions live on Twitch. So we've done it on LinkedIn and on X, but we're also doing it on Twitch today. So God knows what's going to happen now. You know, we're going to have all these kind of Twitch messages on the chat saying, "Look how sharp Alex is looking today."
Also, Andrew with the fresh haircut, looking good yourself. Nice.
Well, I've got to keep up appearances, So, you look at this. Look, we've got.
Also, Andrew with the fresh haircut. It's working. That's so cool. We're like on all these screens now.
We can only have too many screens. Yeah, so just to let you know, everybody, so Alex and myself have known each other for over a year. We actually met in Serbia, of all places.
Niche, Serbia, one of the countries with the best meat in the world. The more you know.
Where is it?
I don't know. I loved it. Like whatever I had at the restaurant was great.
There's a lot going for Serbia, and the reason I was there was because of actually from another gentleman who's been on the GNT Sessions podcast, Zoran. So I met Zoran and Milan in Malta early last year at the European Startup Summit, which Thomas had invited me to, which actually was 10 years old, which was a fantastic achievement. And Werner Vogels, who was the CTO is the CTO of Amazon.com, he was actually the keynote there, which was absolutely awesome. He did I think about an hour and a half live on stage, and so everybody was asking so many questions. He was like, I could be here for 10 hours doing it like a keynote. It was incredible. Nice. So I met Milan and Zoran, and then they said, "Oh, we're putting together this this conference in the first one in Serbia. Would you like to come and talk about what you're doing and what your superpowers?" And we came along, and then met Alex with his superpowers, which we'll get into in a second. But the funny thing is, I actually spoke about podcasting. I don't know if you remember that, Alex. I spoke about.
Of course, I remember. You also were putting together a book. You had hundreds of podcast interviews, and I was like, wow. He's somebody that doesn't give up. He's been doing it for years, and I respect that.
Exactly, yeah. So, yeah, it's kind of like, what is it, Jocko Willink, discipline equals freedom, apparently.
Did you know that if you do more than 20 podcast episodes, you're on the top 5% in the world? Because people give up before their 20th episode.
I thought it was 8.
You don't know, but
it was even less. It was 8.
Well, there you go. You're in the top 2% in the world. Congrats.
Yeah, it is quite low, actually. It is quite low. So we have done. This will be like the 130 odd. I think about 250 hours of overall my podcasts. This is obviously one of a few podcasts that I do. Because I've obviously got the Praxi Pod as well. Mm-hmm. Cool. But yeah, I've been doing this for 7 years now.
It's a good amount of time, yeah. 3 more, and we can celebrate with cake again in Serbia.
Exactly. I mean, you get that. What is it? That thing? It's that kind of. What's that famous book? Is it you have to get to 10,000 episodes, and then you can actually then you build.
Yeah, that's mastery. I think that's mastery by Robert Greene. Yep.
Exactly. So anyway, Alex, it's about you. Today's session is about you, and I suppose what I do and always try to do is bring on extremely interesting and gifted and talented guests. So one of the things that I would say when I was in the audience. In the Technical University in Serbia was actually you shared a tremendous amount of information and insight in a very short space of time. And I suppose we may as well jump into it because I know we've only got a certain amount of time, and obviously you put a very nice tie on today, so golden tie. So I mean, we call this kind of like insights around AI transformation, and obviously a year in AI is like 100 years in some
7.
other industry.
They actually did the calculations. Like a year in AI, it's like the comparing to like 7 years in standard technology. It's crazy.
Oh, only 7? I thought you were going to say more than that, actually.
Current rate. Give it a couple more years, going to be maybe like 20 or something, because it's been changing drastically. Like even when I talk with clients, like the stuff that I used to share with them 2 years ago, and now it's a completely different game.
Well, it's really interesting. Just before I came on this show, actually, this episode, I actually saw it on X. So I think he's, what's he called? Lee? Is it something? The guy that's the co-founder of Gamma, right?
Yeah.
And he put a tweet out, I think, or an X post, I think either today or yesterday, saying that literally it showed them a picture back in 2020, which is obviously 5 years ago, right? Where they were doing like a workshop about what should they put into Gamma, right, as an AI tool, yeah. And he said then we had this call with this investor, and this investor basically apparently dropped the call, said, I'm not interested, it sounds rubbish, your idea. They're now worth $2.1 billion. So it's just...
I've been using the product too. I've been using Gamma. For all those that don't know, by the way, Gamma is basically an AI tool to create slides faster, presentations much easier, right? So if you try it, it's a pretty good tool. Like it's a very good use case of practical AI, where essentially if it takes you like 3 hours to make slides for whatever you need to do, with this tool, it can take you like 20 minutes. And the magic that you see when it's generating all those slides is like, it's really, quite nice to see. Like it's an experience in itself. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, it's like PowerPoint on steroids, isn't it? Or
yeah. I mean, it's so good because like I remember back in the days, right? My first experience with Gamma, going from PowerPoint and you would put the image and then you make it just a little bit bigger, and then all your text would get like all messed up. The formatting would start from up and then down. It's like, no, please, I don't want to do this anymore. And then with Gamma, it puts it like nicely formatted. I can share like a link. It like the transitions are nice and smooth. And I was like, this is great. This is what AI should be doing for me. Like I have the idea. I know what I want to show people. I am impaired with PowerPoint. Please, AI, help me out here. Make it happen for me.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's so. I mean, going back to your original presentation, that thing where sometimes when you can put too much into a presentation. I know you make it very dense, and I don't think you do that deliberately to share. It's a good thing. You're sharing lots of value, right? But it's just like a bit of a fire hose. I don't know if you've changed your style.
So I'll give people again for the viewers that we have today, or those that are going to watch the session in the future. So I tend to go quite often around the world doing presentations on how to put AI to work. At the end of the day, I'm basically like an AI coach, an AI nerd. I train companies, I train people to, get results from AI. I tend to treat people in the audience the way I would like to receive information. So I'm a little bit of a nerd. I have a very high dopamine need. So I go and read stuff all the time. I go and check the tools and stuff like that. So in my mind, if a speaker gives me just a little bit of information, just theory, just fluff, I get upset. So I kind of do the opposite approach where I'm going to go on the stage and show you 7 ways to put AI to work right now.
Yeah.
And I do that, and it's usually a bad idea because it gives people a headache. Now I learned from my mistakes in the past 2 years. So now I tend to go a little bit more lightweight. I show them 3 workflows that I know it's going to give them value. I get them to try out stuff. I get them to talk between people how to use these tools. And then that goes much smoother because it's a little bit, it's not everybody's the same. So my assumption that everybody wants to know the best hacks and how to put AI to work in 20 minutes it was a wrong bet from my side to do it that way. Because they love it. As I said, I've been noticing it.
Yeah, I think there was some discussion you had last year, but there wasn't really an exercise. So what you said is you put an exercise into the group so they can actually apply it immediately. Is that right?
So I put exercises to get people to become friends. Whenever I go now at a conference, right, I give people the ideas. I give people the tools that are free to use. And I tell them, now I'll give you 5 minutes to test out this thing. And you will talk with your neighbor. You will talk with your neighbor, look to your left, look to your right, and share with them what was the thing that caught your eye.
Yeah.
And this is funny to me because people, when I did this at the conference in Vegas a few months ago, people loved it. Because imagine, I don't know if you've been in the situation. I've been to a good amount of conferences, right? And sometimes the hardest part is just break the ice and meet some people, right? Of course, you have in common already many things, right? You want to know more about this topic. You're looking for clients. You're looking for networking, for opportunities. But going out there and talking with people, it's a little bit discouraging sometimes. So I am coming from Italy, right, where we're very sociable. So I literally build that in my presentations. Now I tell
Yeah.
them, this is your chance. I am forcing you to make friends with the people next to you, right? So do your best. Tell them your workflow. Show them the prompt that I showed you, and start talking with them. Worst case scenario, if you don't care about AI, at least you have somebody to grab coffee tomorrow, and you never know. You might make friends, you might make business partners, you might find your wife there. Who knows?
No comment. Yeah.
Who am I to judge what people do? I'm just there to share the prompts. What they do with them, that's their business.
That was a really good story. Thank you for that. So just to jump, so to help people understand a bit more about your background, what got you into this? What was the trigger? How did you didn't just come out of the womb like this, did you? That give me a computer,
Well,
give me an AI.
I was
We've never gone through that actually. What's the
no,
origin story of the Mr. Northstar?
a misunderstood nerd, the standard, the classic. In my hometown, nobody cared about this stuff. Nobody, right? So, because this happened basically in 2019. For my master's thesis, I was doing like international collaboration, international languages, cooperation, stuff like that, right? For business purposes, let's say marketing business. Everybody was interested in communication between companies, marketing, ads, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I woke up one day and I'm like, wait a minute. How are we going to talk about with robots in the next years? And my professor was like, what are you talking about? Did you lose your mind? He's like, no. Wait. I've been seeing these little chatbots, these little, like the movies, right? I was always fascinated by these sci-fi movies where we would just talk, but now with people, with holograms, with assistants.
Mm-hmm.
To me, this was very interesting. I don't know why. It was just a fascination, right?
You've been
So
watching that. What you've been watching that film She with what's he called? The guy that's
her.
oh, is it her? Oh, sorry, her. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But also other stuff. I've been watching the episodes from Black Mirror where they could
Mhm.
have like replicas of people. I was checking out the early prototypes of chatbots and stuff like that, right? So to me, this topic was like, how are people not interested in this? Like, how are you not interested in how you're going to relate with your robots in the future? Because this is the future. So in 2019, when I did my master's thesis, nobody cared about this, not a single soul. If you'd go on Google Trends and look for the keyword AI, it was searched twice per month by me. Nowadays, if I would take a shot of vodka every time I hear the word AI, I would be dead by 9 a.m. So interest changed in the topic. And in 2019, I basically predicted where we're going to be with ChatGPT pretty much when it launched in November 2022. Because the way I saw it was like, these chatbots are not new. This stuff existed from the 60s. The problem is that they were clunky. These were not made for the masses, right? You
Yeah,
can
the
have
user
one that could
experience was broken.
exactly. So my theory was like, once we have good enough systems to combine them, they're going to compound. We're going to have one smooth experience and it's going to explode. And this is exactly what happened with ChatGPT, right? You didn't need to develop this clunky chatbot that works with if this, do that, if that, like with branches. It was literally you open a web browser, like a web tab, and you just ask a question, it responds back instantly. And I was like, this is it. This is literally it. So I kind of predicted the future like 5 years ago. I noticed this, and I'm like, this is actually what I do want to do. Like I was in the meantime, I was working in Berlin together with a small company called Google. They do cool internet stuff, but I wanted to basically deep dive into
Like
this
you
because, huh? What?
like you do.
I'm like, this is the right time now to basically put more effort into this. Now, the second pivot that was is pretty much I didn't want to be an AI researcher. I wanted to be an AI practitioner. So I wanted to go to schools, companies, train people how to use it in a good way to help their life be better. And this is kind of what I've been trying to do for the rest.
Why did you want to do that? So you wanted to interact with humans and robots rather than actually being in a darkened room? Is that what you say?
Huh. Well, the thing is, I know this technology is going to become much more powerful. And by not knowing it, you'll be ruled by it. I know this is a big statement, but look at the trends. It's becoming smarter and smarter. Now, we as practitioners, right? You use it. I use it. When I say it, it sounds to you like a joke. But look at the trajectory. There was a very interesting research that came out like 3 weeks ago where people are like, where it's saying you're not recognizing anymore AI generated images on the internet. Is it because they're less? No, it's
Oh,
because they
okay.
got better.
Yeah.
We are slowly not noticing anymore the AI, robo-talk on written articles. Is it because people are writing
Well,
less? No, it's
is
because it gets
it
more
true?
subtle and better.
Is it true that I think I don't know if you know the stat on this, but my understanding is that GPT-4 versus 5.1 is something like 100x more intelligent. Is that right?
No, it's a little bit less. Like the nuance is fine on that. Like, it's not like 100 times more smarter. It's like not even like 5 times smarter. But this
I
is
think
the thing.
GPT-4 was equivalent to Einstein. Is that right? That's
Kind
why.
of, a little bit less, a little bit less. What I'm saying, like, look, it doesn't even need to be that smart. That's not the thing. It's not the intelligence behind it. It's the subtlety of it. Because once you start removing the en dash and those repetitive robo words, can you figure out that that was AI or was it a person? First of all, the question. Second of all, people don't even care anymore. That's the thing. Like, if something is valuable and interesting and it caught your attention, people don't care it's AI. They even did more research where they basically putting these blind tests for like people talking with doctors or AI doctors.
Yeah.
And people preferred more the AI doctors. Like the only instance where they did not like them if they would know. If I would tell somebody like, hey, you're going to talk with an AI voice assistant, okay? And they would be like, no, I hate this. But if you put them on a blind test,
Mm,
people preferred AI because it was more empathetic, it
mm,
asked more questions, it took more time, and it had like a nicer tone in general. You can see the trajectory, Andrew. This technology, it's only becoming better. It's becoming more integrated. And even I can, again, from my experience, okay, we set up systems for clients that allows you to call your leads. Voice agents, they're going to call you and it's like, hey, you came to our spa 1 month ago. We're running a Christmas sale. Would you like a discount code to come back to us for a 30% discount? It's been running well. People don't care that it's AI. It talks naturally. It
I was
doesn't hiccup anymore. It just works. So
I
I'm
was
like,
an advert. I'm sure this advert that's on it keeps coming up on my YouTube feed. It sounds like a Tom Cruise voiceover for a tool, right? And then, as you probably saw, which I saw and I think there's all right. You know, Mr. Matthew
yeah,
McConaughey. He
McConaughey,
just
yeah.
invested and he's now part of 11 Labs or something, isn't he? So it's you know, and then I think there was somebody else that signed up with the same 11 Labs, I think, because they're saying that the voice AI is rather than actually being plagiarized and commercialized without control, then actually what this kind of evolution is that you could say, I don't know, celebrities, people with you know attractive voices want to actually kind of work out how to commercialize it. You could say. So
Yeah, I mean, it's an opportunity. That's why it's happening.
we're going to be getting a call from 11 Labs this afternoon. Hey, that guy, that sexy guy from Italy, and that other guy from Ireland, England. What's going on? That Yorkshireman.
I'm not even joking. That can totally be done. I can literally train like a voice on Brad Pitt to call people to propose to them to go grocery shopping. Like that's literally reality. You can totally do that right now. And again, you would say, is it against terms of service? Can they sue you for that? Yes, they can. But will they catch you? Now, again, I'm not telling people that they should be doing this. I'm just saying currently we live in the Wild West
Mm.
and a lot of things are possible with this technology. Now, what's funny to me is like people think this is the future. We're going to be able to do this in 2 years. I could do this since 4 months ago. Now, I've been testing by myself to have fun with it, to hear some voices saying stupid things, but you can literally do this. You even saw like nowadays it's starting to become with video generation, with AI video generation, where you can put in Obama getting a tattoo, or like I don't know, people telling you like famous people, the Queen of England telling you to go buy eggs or something like that. It can totally be done. And the more effort you put into it, the more realistic it looks like. And if they go viral on social media, people sometimes know it's AI and they don't care as long as it is interesting. So this is where it's at, Andrew. Like it's happening.
So,
This is
do you,
why I think it's important that we take the lead on this, right? We understand how this stuff works and we decide what to do with it, because otherwise it will be decided for us.
well, yeah. So one of the things that what you just talked about kind of triggered in my mind was one of the episodes that I have had on previously. Actually, I recorded it when I was in Niche, I think. Was actually with Dan Sodergren. You probably know, actually. I think you
Yeah,
know
yeah.
that. So he talks a lot about the future of work. Um, but what you're touching on with that previous kind of segue that you just talked about is the future of life. Yeah, it's not. It's not. It's
I
not what you're doing at home. Well, it's not what you're doing just at work. It's actually what you're doing in your whole life, isn't it? Is that right? Or
I
is that?
can tell you another example, like Andrew. Yes, you are correct because listen, one of the things I did, like I got these Meta glasses, okay, since 1 week. They completely changed the way I do things. Like I literally send people messages with my glasses. I tell them
Are
like,
those the Oakleys? Are those the Oakleys? Or
yeah,
no?
yeah, yeah. Those the ones that they can take pictures, you can record video. It's
What,
the
the
Ray-Ban ones.
the ones you got on there?
These ones, yeah, read these ones right now.
Are
So they
they?
can take videos. I can ask it stuff seeing around. I can ask it for recipes and stuff like that. And it works well enough. Like I'm surprised how much fun I have because I literally say, I'm not gonna trigger them now because otherwise it's gonna make a mess. We're talking at the same time, and all this is too much stimulation. But I can literally send people messages. I can send them pictures. I can tell them what I'm doing. I was having a call with my mom, okay, 2 days ago. I called her on WhatsApp and she could see through my eyes where I'm going and what I'm doing. It is so fascinating. I can literally call you on WhatsApp and you're going to be seeing me walking around. What I see, you will see.
Yeah, but you
When
see
I'm
what
going on that
what I'm
stage,
doing now is I'm going to put my Oakleys on. You see, these are my Oakleys. These are not my. These are my ones without the Meta on. These are ones without the Meta on.
these are
They,
like the analogic ones, the old school ones. They look
yeah,
great though.
these are the analog ones. That's right. Oh wow! I didn't realize you got those. That's fantastic. I mean,
They're
I don't
really
know,
cool. And
places
the idea is like you can literally see me walk on the stage. Like when I'm gonna do my presentation, I can turn them on so you can see how like you'd be in my shoes walking on the stage, seeing all these hundreds of people and everything. It's
I
so
don't. I don't want
fascinating.
to. I don't want to get political with you. And obviously, I know we're on a live stream here, but the disappointing is obviously I do like Oakleys, right? They are a really fantastic brand, but do they really have to get in collaboration with Meta? Yeah, I think who's getting more out of that, Meta or Oakley? I suppose
Both of them.
there's a
Both of them because
symbiotic relationship, I suppose, isn't there?
it is because they're getting the advantage of getting, to being leaders in technology. And
Mm.
Meta is also being a leader in basically these glasses because they can say we're the first ones that made them, we're the most popular, so we are leading the market with these. Makes sense because as I said, this is a wearable. I love them and they work really well. Like I'm surprised. I thought it's going to be just an expensive toy that I'm going to just dump after 1 week, but this is really cool.
Can I ask you a question then? Have you got a prescription lens in those glasses?
Now these ones I don't need them. They can do it. Like they can work with prescription
Really?
lenses. Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
yeah. These are just transitions. If I go now in the sun, they will turn dark green, and they're really cool. Now, this is not an advert, by the way, for the Meta glasses or anything. It's just a new way of interacting, right? So I have AI in my glasses translating stuff for me.
This episode was sponsored by Meta and Oakley.
Would be great, huh? But no, I'm saying like the fact is like it's a different way of living, right? I'm already noticing like I
Mm.
just can just ask my system, I'm looking around at monuments and I'm like, what am I seeing? And it's going to explain to me what this is. I look at stuff and like, can you translate what's written here? And it just does it for me in a voice manner. I don't have to pull out my phone. I don't have to go through Google. It just does stuff for me. It's great.
And does it come up in your? So obviously, I've not experienced this thing, but does it come up in your kind of like your eye kind of?
Not these ones. So the new model, the third generation, is going to also have like a display on them where you can see your messages and stuff
Okay.
like that. These ones are simply with voice commands and you can just take videos. You have like a little LED here,
Mm.
but the view is still no digital cyborg stuff happening yet.
So it's going to be. Are you going to rebrand yourself then? It's going to be Alex Cyborg Enache then, isn't it? Is that right?
I mean, it's already happening, Andrew. It's already happening since years. We're
You're
getting
gonna,
there.
you're gonna have Elon's chip in your head next. Is that what it's going to be, or something like
I
that?
apply. I'm on the list. He just didn't call me yet back. I'm still waiting.
You've got a Starlink in your bag. You're completely loaded up.
But you wouldn't like. This is the thing, right? This is why if we take a step back and we look at AI, I've been noticing like a huge difference, Andrew, in people like not using it and people who are using it in the last like 2 years. Like the divide is becoming bigger and bigger because you can literally do stuff 5 times faster if you know the relevant tool
Yes.
and how to prompt it, right? It's not a big deal. Like it's not going to take you like 3 months to learn this stuff. It can take you like up to 2 weeks or like 1 month of, a little bit of intense training, but the results are just big. And I'm thinking, right, because this is if we want to go back and be a little bit political, right? The problem is some countries are not investing enough time and resources into educating people. The entrepreneurs are loving it. They're like using it, they're implementing it. Companies are hiring me to do it for them. But in the public sector, people are either, like in Italy, I can tell you, right? I come from Italy. People are either afraid of it, or there's no budget to invest, or they don't even know what to do with it. which is, I think, in my opinion, it's a huge
Yeah,
mistake
but
because
you know what you need to do? You need to ring up Maloney. Yeah, you need to ring her up.
I tried already in my hometown to do workshops for free, right? So I did workshops in Vegas and they paid me good money to do those. I was offering the same stuff for free in my hometown. The mayor didn't even like have a chat with me. He was like, the secretary was telling me he's too busy, he's not available. You know, all those like little
Which
games
town?
that they
Which town
play.
is it? Which town is it?
Formia. Formia. My hometown is called Formia. It's a lovely town on the seaside. It's where
Where's
the Roman
near
Senator
Naples?
Cicero used to go on vacation.
Near Naples, or is it? Where is
It's
it?
between Rome and Naples. It's kind of in
Oh
the
yeah, okay.
middle here. Yeah.
That's nice down there.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like I see here missed opportunities, right, for normal good people to learn these kind of things. Because this is, again, don't get me wrong, like
Yeah, but Maloney's pretty. Maloney's, you know, my view on her is she's very progressive. She seems to be very. I mean, maybe you got a different view on it, but maybe she seems very progressive and kind of embracing of the future. You just need to get the audience, you know.
I can try.
You need to call Donald Trump up and say, you know, I know you're very close to Maloney. You know, can you get us 5 minutes? With
I would try again. There's a few conferences happening also in Italy, but also I don't want to be knocking on doors where I'm not, because that's the thing, right? Outside Europe, and I mean, this is something like, it's close to my heart because I think Europe is really being left behind in the AI race. And it's not a technology problem, it's a mindset problem where governments tend to be very conservative. They're not testing out anything. Minimum budget is being, dedicated to this. And this is, again, to me, it's a matter of education. Okay. We have all the technology available there. We have the models, we have open source, we have all of this stuff. We don't make it, by the way, which is funny to me. We don't make any AI. We only have like Mistral. All the rest is being made in the US and China, but at least train the people how to use it, right? Before we staying in the 90s and all the rest of the world is in 2026.
You're spot on with that. I mean, thanks to Phil Robinson and Kate, who's the CEO at Easthorpe, who's the CEO at Boardwave. I don't know if you've heard of Boardwave, but it's like a community with about 2,000 CEOs in it across the whole of Europe. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to enable Europe to actually catch up with the tech boom and the AI boom. They're trying to push that at government level and at policy level, because I think as you just confirmed what I kind of seen across a few different countries is that sometimes they're not. There seems to be a bit too much bureaucracy and not enough execution on some stuff. For probably for valid reasons, but it's not progressing. It doesn't progress at the speed that you see in other geos. I mean, even being in the UAE, yeah. If you look at how the UAE government, especially in Dubai and Abu Dhabi, have now embraced, I think it's free AI training, isn't it? It's free use of ChatGPT and various different tools to the whole population, which is incredible when you think about it.
It's basically, that's what I'm saying. It's AI literacy. I mean, it's not rocket science, Andrew. It's like basically giving people the opportunity to have AI literacy. Because the way you see it, like, I'm not one of these like people that are like AI hype personality where I'm like, this is going to completely change the world, is going to be smarter than us. We don't know. I don't even care. What's important to me is, for example, I have a little sister. She's 12. I want her to be able to leverage this technology, right? To me, currently, AI is Excel on steroids. It can do a lot of things. It's very valuable. But me, 9 years ago, I took an advanced course on how to use Excel. It was boring, but it made wonders for my career, going to employment and telling them, I know how to use Excel. I know how to use the Microsoft package, blah, 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 right? Now we live an interesting time where I was talking with a friend of mine from Belgium. Okay, he's a pretty big entrepreneur. He was already telling me from last year, I don't hire people anymore that don't use AI. Like when I do my interviews, if they don't know how to use it, if they don't have the experience, I don't hire them because they're capped. I know their potential is limited. They could be smart, they can do whatever they need to do, but I know that they're not gonna multiply their capabilities. Because that's like what I've been noticing, right? Training thousands of people around the globe.
But when you say the AI aware or AI competent or
AI competent. No, AI competent. This is one of the mistakes that I always tell business owners to avoid. AI news does not equal results. And I know, because I know this sounds funny, right? Because I have sometimes people come to me, it's like, oh, I heard this latest news. I heard that you can do this. And I ask them, are you making money with the AI news? Is it actually helping your team get ahead? Are you becoming better than your competitors? No, you're not, because you're not doing anything with the AI news. So AI competency, when people come to me, it's like, yeah, I tried ChatGPT, I tried Gemini, I tried Claude, I tried setting up a couple of automations.
Yeah.
That's good. That is to a point where you are not looking from the sidelines, you're actually being a participant, and you know what can be done, what cannot be done, you have ideas. That is extremely valuable because this technology changes fast. There's a lot of noise out there, but just the fact that you're getting your hands dirty, that's already like half of the battle is won.
So, okay, so 2 years ago, interestingly, 2 years ago in October 2023, I was in Copenhagen, and there's a company called Trifork based in Switzerland who run what's called the Go-To conference, and I presented there and I talked about what's called Beyond Gen AI. I don't know if you know this. I don't know if you remember me talking me about this. It's got about 25,000 views on YouTube. There's a bit of comedy in there. There's a bit of bit of an advert for Praxi that I'd work on. But there's also some kind of key themes about what you're seeing, and the kind of roles that are kind of the roles in the future, yeah, and also capabilities about prompt engineering, et cetera, and also roles that could be, you could say, reformed, reshaped, transformed, or the organization chart changes, yeah. So when you talk about the opportunity with AI and stuff that you've been working on in these different companies, what kind of roles are you seeing have the opportunity to change for the positive, and then which roles do you think are going to be reevaluated, you could say?
Great question. The answer actually is going to be a little bit different. All roles will be impacted. The smart people who are proactive will have many more opportunities. So it's a different dynamic because I know, like, I hear this all the time, right? These are the jobs that are going to be more impacted. That's not what I've been noticing. It's like, to me, it's on an individual level. I go on sessions, okay, with different departments from companies. Like I have like multiple international clients, right? And they send to me accounting department, sales, marketing, customer service, legal. And it's not a matter of the department, it's a matter of people. Because some people are saying, like, no, I didn't try it. I don't know what this stuff does. Okay, I'll check it out. And nothing changes for them. But you have those few people who are like, oh, I tried this tool. Yeah, this actually saved me much time. Oh, I've been figuring out how to put together this automation. This gives them leverage, which we never had before. What I mean is, if you would work as customers.
So what you're saying is passive, or it's the kind of mindset, the passive or active engagement with the transformation opportunity.
It's not the technology, it's the psychology of people. Because if you're a smart person that you want to get ahead in life, you're going to figure out ways to do what you're doing better, smarter.
Yeah.
No matter what job position you are, if you can achieve those results, you're going to go far in life. You can be the CEO, but you can also be like a, customer service saying like, hey, I figured out ways to do from 20 tickets per day to 50. Now you're already improving processes. You already have knowledge that's not common to other people out there. Not even a CEO would know how to do this. Only you know how to optimize these processes. Never before you had this kind of opportunity.
That's what the kind of the I watch. I don't know where it comes from actually, but the kind of the Silicon Valley hearsay is, there's going to be what is it going to be a one person unicorn, $1 billion recurring revenue with one person in the company. That's maybe the future.
Which is, it's not that far, to be honest. Like, I see it doable in the form that you really have to have maximum clarity. This is one of the issues I've been noticing working with like different departments and setting up automations, right? I go on meetings with leadership and they either don't know the exact processes behind their business, or they don't know what should be done. Like, for example, it's a little bit like bigger story to explain, but to make it simple, you must have clarity. How do you get your clients? Why are they buying from you? How to make your product better, and how to improve the service. If you do this consistently for 1 year, you can only grow. And this can be done because you can set up a lot of these systems. Like, as I said, one of the systems we have for our clients is basically customer service voice agents, right? I can set up 20 of these to call all your leads, all your people, to know where are we dropping the ball? What can we give you more? How we can improve our services, right? And you can take this feedback, improve your product, improve your margins, do more marketing, and you can do it now. This viral marketing with like AI videos. People don't care anymore that's AI. You just put some cats in them, they play the trumpets or something, and they go viral. You place your product at the end, you get views.
Are you saying that they can do more, or they can do more with less, or the same? Is that kind of the message you say?
100%, Andrew. Literally me, okay? Just look at me. Like, what I'm doing right now, 2.5 years ago would have been impossible to run all this, like to have AI agents code my website, respond 24/7 to client inquiries, do research for me, allow me to prepare all these talks and do a good job at them. Because of course there's ways to do like AI slop that's like useless and it destroys your brand, or use it in a smart way that gives you much more leverage by
Yeah,
yourself or with a small team.
I suppose that's a challenge of what if you look at what you did in Serbia last year, and then what 12 as you said, 12 months is equivalent to a minimum of 7 years in normal progress. Just I mean I've been in and out of technology for quite a few decades, and I find it incredibly challenging to keep up with all this stuff, right? So God knows what you're doing, because if you're going from one conference to another, there must be a kind of an expiry date, yeah, on some stuff that you presented maybe a year ago. You wouldn't present again now. Is that right, or is it kind of
Every
like?
2 weeks, my slides change. I can tell you that because I go to conferences usually like once per month. Every conference that I have, there's like new stuff that I have. Either I improve the processes, there's better tools out there, or there's more interesting opportunities happening.
So would
So
you say,
I update them all the time because they're just like different. The landscape changes.
if you
There's
looked at
more stuff.
that deck you presented, or that story you presented last year, is 100% of that now being replaced, or is it 90% or 50%, or what's your view on that?
I would say a 50%.
Wow.
So what I mean, for example, right? What you remember from last year, I was showing people how to do easier presentation with Gamma, right?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
still valid. Like that's still valid. You can still do that with Gamma. But 1 year later, now they have an agent to change all your slides at the same time. You have the opportunity to import your older slides so they can get updated by the AI. You have the opportunity to change templates, add your custom template. So all of these additional details can help you do that task
Mm.
much faster and better if you know how to do it. And if you don't know, you're still going to go in PowerPoint and put image, text, image, text, and it takes you like 5 hours.
Is the challenge here? Is it actually? Are you finding people maybe who are not as technology aware or not as kind of technically savvy? Are they still scared of this phenomenon? Are they
It's
concerned about?
yeah, I get what you mean. So look, I've been teaching people of any age from different backgrounds, and to me, it's just like the excitement in learning. It's. I know it sounds strange. It sounds like magical voodoo, but the thing is, I met people who are like 60 years old who are interested in learning things. They're
Hmm.
interested in learning. They're interested in trying stuff out.
Yeah.
With that kind of energy, these are people who will find ways. They will have ideas. They will put out new stuff out there because it's their attitude towards things. And then you have also like young people who don't care about anything, who are not happy about their job, who are not going to lift any finger to do anything more than the bare minimum. So it's
Also,
not a matter of age. It's not a matter. Huh?
really, what you're saying is different generations actually are responding to this opportunity in different ways.
Yeah. I can tell you. So I used to have like this like prompting course like 1.5 years ago, and the first person that actually finished it was like 40 hours of content. Was I think it was like a 59-year-old gentleman from South Carolina. He told me, I went through all of your 95 prompts. I checked the workflows. This has been super valuable. I'm using now this kind of strategies to do my research for, I think it was like for university or for like his company. And I'm like, I was expecting that these would be young people who use this technology, right? There'll be some like ambitious young talent, but no, it was a 59-year-old man who was just excited about it. Oh, Andrew, are we still connected? Ladies and gentlemen, we seem to have a quick technical issue. I don't know if I got disconnected or Andrew got disconnected. While we wait for Andrew to come back, please let us know in the comments your questions so I can help you with your AI implementation needs. Or if you want to know more about what are people currently doing with AI to make their jobs easier, just let me know. I'm happy to help out. We will just wait a second, hoping that Andrew is going to be back with us, and then we will continue the show. The connection seems to be fine from my side. I'm contacting right now Andrew to see if he's going to be back with us or if his laptop maybe ran out of battery. Oh, I just got a live update that the laptop of Andrew unfortunately crashed. This can happen. He is rejoining in a few minutes, so it should be all fine according to schedule. Go grab yourself a glass of water or some coffee or some tea, and we will go back to our regular schedule. Thank you very much for your patience, and I don't know if we're going to cut this part in the final interview or just keep it in as bloopers, why not? To show you that we are humans. That actually this is not a pre-recorded show, that we are not chatbots, so this is actually happening live. Oh. We should have an option to basically see your questions at least. Because currently from my side I don't see them, but it would be cool during these kind of moments to have like a little sidebar so we can see your live questions. So I can, I don't know, maybe give you a quick Q&A or give you some ideas what you can do with AI. Let me check. I think we also have a few participants in the show. I'm checking right now if there are any comments. Aha, we have an interesting question here in the LinkedIn comments. So I'm seeing there from Przemyslaw, I wonder about first steps in agentic implementation organizations, where to put the most effort. This is a great question. So one of the first tips I can give you regarding this is you definitely need to put together an AI audit. What I mean is the processes that you have, just focus on a few wins. Like, don't automate everything. That's a mistake that we had in the past. Focus on one specific department. Maybe it's customer support, maybe it's marketing, maybe it's accounting. Pick one, maybe where you see the most opportunities. Map out a few key tasks, how they are done. So I mean, what tools are involved? What is the logic behind them? What are the triggers? And what's the end goal or final result? Okay? And then based on that, we would put together like a custom plan to set up either some AI copilots for those employees or deploy some automations that we're going to test first. So again, I can tell you one of the mistakes that we noticed in the past with agentic implementation is to go too far, too much from the start, and then it becomes really chaotic, especially if people are not trained in this. One of the things that we do in the first month, we actually spend a long time educating people on this. So we will do workshops, we would do like leadership sessions and Q&A and stuff like that so that people feel confident using this technology. Because from my experience, usually the founders are pretty enthusiastic or the CEOs, right? So they have good energy, but at the same time, not all the employees know how to run this. So this is why it's good to have everybody on board before we start deploying automations. And once that's done, oh, by the way, hello, Andrew, welcome back. I'm just responding to a question in the LinkedIn comments to help out.
Oh, cool.
Somebody was asking first steps in agentic implementation organization. So I was just discussing the mistakes that we saw in the past, which is going too much too fast, trying to automate everything, which is a mistake, and going with a more stable approach, which is mapping out specific processes for one department, focusing on a few key wins, educating the employees, how does AI work, how do automations work in the back end, and then building stuff together, pretty much having ownership in the whole process between AI implementation specialists like me, leadership that know what's happening, and also the employees who are in control of the whole process. So that's how I would do this successfully. That's what's been giving us good results now in the last 6 months.
Agentic implementation organization. So I was just discussing the
Cool. So if you have more questions, also you can leave them in the LinkedIn post, I guess, or for this session. And I'll try to go back and try to answer more of these. I hope it's valuable. And we have Andrew back. Andrew, how are you feeling? What's the situation?
Yes, you can tell it's now a live stream, can't you? Because actually, when you get a technical hitch, suddenly it kind of ends. Anyway, no,
I was telling people that this is the proof that we are not AI chatbots. This is not pre-recorded, it's live. There you go. Humans doing human things.
exactly. Yeah, no, I think so. Thanks for talking about. Yes, I saw that question in the chat as well. That's great. Thanks for people interacting with the live stream. Yeah, I suppose we were just talking about the generational factor about people creating barriers, and I think you were talking about that gentleman that was slightly more mature than maybe you would expect, and still embracing learning about that skill. But then what
Yep.
you're saying is that you found people at the other end of the spectrum who are maybe a lot younger are not showing as much engagement. Is that right, or is that what you're saying?
Exactly. So like the people that gave us the best results were the ones that were like most engaged with like learning, were like curious people. People willing to test stuff out that were not afraid of the change. And that's not an age thing. Honestly, from my perspective, it's not an age thing. We had great experiences with more senior people. We had good experience with like younger people, but it was more of an attitude than an age thing.
Right.
And
Okay.
that's something that I think it's also it goes on leadership to embrace stuff like that. Because also a lot of times we had projects in the past, right? Where like leadership contacted me, is like, hey, can you train my teams? And then they ghosted me. And then I was like, I will do my best. But like, if people don't see the example from leadership, right, that they are trying out the tools, that they are experimenting with the stuff, it's going to make the whole AI transformation initiative much harder.
Yeah.
Because people are going to be like, okay, we have this guy who clearly loves AI. We don't really care. We just want, ideas, hacks, results. And then we have leadership who just puts us in the room with this guy and good luck. Now, the better way to do this, if leadership would say, here are my results for this week. We've been testing stuff. This is what worked. This doesn't work. What about you? And if you need some more support, Alex is there in the session with you to help you out.
Yeah, or what you would do is the whole you remove the hierarchy. Everybody goes in the same session.
Exactly. This is why we had, and I can tell you also from my experience, most of the time leadership is really on top of AI. Like CEOs, even like if they're like, I had CEOs that were like 65 years old and they're experimenting with like AI avatars and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What I'm noticing that the mistake that they make is like they don't share this energy and these experiences with the rest of the company. Because I go into AI strategy sessions with them, right? Leadership, and they usually don't need help with that. They have already workflows for brainstorming, for figuring out things. They're pretty good at it. But then I say, do you share these ideas with the rest of your company or the rest of your people? And they're like, well, no. And that's a missed opportunity, in my opinion. Because if people see that you are on top and you're using the stuff, they're going to be like, okay, let me also try it out because my boss loves it and he's been having fun. I guess I can also do it because he or she is doing it. You see what I'm saying here?
Yeah, I mean, what the missed opportunities that people are. What you're saying is some people are not democratizing or not enabling the democratization on the enablement.
They're not sharing the joy. They're not sharing the energy of discovery. They're not sharing their process of saying, hey, I tried this didn't work, this worked. How about to explore a new tool? I'm going to give you access to Perplexity Pro or whatever, right? So people feel that they're part of something cool, right? A project, an idea, discovery process.
Yeah.
And again, because it's not technology, it's psychology, right? You need people to feel empowered. You want people to feel interested in this kind of change. This is change management. This is not that we have to introduce a new software that people must use. Nobody likes that.
Yeah, I mean, it then goes back to the thing about what's in it for them, isn't it? What's in it for me?
Right.
Them?
Right.
Yeah.
So that's why every time I go there, I don't tell people like, we need to build automations. I tell them, I want to offer you opportunities to turbocharge your career. I want to offer you the possibility to do work faster, easier, and with less stress. Would you like that? And I think I'm honest about it because it worked for me. It worked for hundreds of other people. So there is something in it for you if you decide to just learn together. That's
Yeah.
kind of how I do these things, and it's been going much better. Because again, once I understood that it's not about throwing, all these workflows at people, the better choice is just to work together with them to feed their natural curiosity, to like help them build their best side, the
Yeah.
side that's curious, that wants to do better processes, that wants to do better engagement with clients, with coworkers, with leaders. And this is it's a personal growth process, honestly, at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, and then it goes back to the active and passive dimension about how active or passive are they on their own self-development.
Yeah. But you see, now you understand perfectly what I'm saying. Because if you remove the AI part and you're going to give them, read these 10 books on self-development, they're still not going to read them. Or take this trip to improve your leadership skills in Toronto. They're still not going to do it because they don't care. That's what you need to change. That's where leadership or me as a facilitator need to come in to say, how would you like to develop further? Would you like to put AI to work for you? Would you like to gain a new skill in learning AI automations or process improvement? And this is kind of where we see progress. That's where we see valuable, successful AI transformation for companies.
Yeah.
And it starts with the people. It doesn't start with the tech stack. It starts with their people.
Okay, so in order just to kind of, because I realize we're being on 50 minutes already. Although I wasn't on 50 minutes, you were.
I got this.
I was. So we're now in kind of mid-November. We've got like 40 days to 2026. So if you were gonna share what people should be thinking about for 2026, what would be your big rocks or big takeaways that people should think about to make their 2026 different? I didn't say
Right.
better. I meant said different.
They can also make it
Maybe
better. In my
maybe should
opinion,
say make it different and better.
they should make it better, differently better. No, I'm just joking. They could be, well, they can change the way they do things to do them better, easier, faster. So I'll be simple on this. Like, it doesn't need to be rocket science. Like, what I would tell them is like, write down one thing that you want to do better. Now, it can be personal life, it can be your career, it can be your personal development future. I don't know. It's up to you to make a decision on one thing, right? And literally explore if AI could help you with that or not. Now, one of the prompts, for example, that I share with people, right? I tell them, even if they know nothing about it, I'm going to tell them, take out your phone, right? Take out your phone and write on ChatGPT, if you have it, ask, give me 3 different ways to solve this problem that I'm currently having.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to be a genius, okay? You don't need to be a tech genius. You're just going to see how this technology maybe can help you. Because a lot of times, you see, we're stuck in our own old ways. I solve problems as Alex because that's all I knew for the whole my whole life. Now, is that the best solution to my problem? Maybe not. So what I do is now, every time I have a new challenge, a problem, whatever, I just go to AI and ask it, give me 3 different ways to solve this problem. Sometimes is amazing. Sometimes it completely changes the way I think, the way I handle issues, and it's very valuable to me. It literally took me like a 10-second prompt. So might as well start experimenting. Like, it's never too late to make a positive decision to learn new stuff, no matter your age, where you're at, but you got to start somewhere. This is what I would recommend to people. You got to start somewhere, figure out one thing that you want to make it better, and just ask AI to start helping you with that. If it works, happy for you. Let us know what worked. If it doesn't work, you can also contact me, just DM me, so I can give you maybe better prompts or ideas or whatever you might need to make your AI journey successful. That's how I see it.
Okay. So I was just in the middle of while you were sharing that piece of valuable insight. I was just seeing if our Twitch stream had been working, and I'm not sure if it has been working. But you can only but try, and if
We do our best.
you don't succeed again, you can try again.
There you go. That's the winner mindset right there, folks. If you want to do prompt engineering, that's how you have to think.
And you can get your, tonight you can get your copy of, Marcus Aurelius Meditations out and read some stoic wisdom.
There you go.
You
combine the new with the old school.
I've got to mention that with you being on the kind of on the show today, so a bit of Italian kind of connection.
I read that book. It's a good book. It brings you back to simpler times. It helps you focus on what really matters.
Exactly. So here I am analogizing being on Twitch on a live stream versus Marcus Aurelius. Anyway, so thank you for coming on the show today. I mean, it's been a really fascinating conversation. And I know that you haven't told us where you are. You are somewhere in the world. You're not in Italy today, are you? You're in somewhere in the Baltic.
I'm not in Italy. I am currently in Vilnius, Lithuania, because there's going to be the AI Summit Europe conference. I'll be a keynote speaker there, teaching companies how to become successful AI-first companies and how to train their employees, how to set up valuable systems. I'll be here for around 1 week. And if anybody from the audience is currently in Vilnius, let me know, because I'm dying to get some good coffee. I can't find it anywhere here. I'm struggling. It's an emotional drama.
If you're Italian, why don't you just buy some in Italy and take it with you?
Thank you for that. I should have done that, right? I should have done that. I thought it's gonna be okay here. It's like,
I thought that was part of the upbringing of Italians. It's like have coffee, we'll travel.
Yeah. In our luggage, we have a separated pocket only for the coffee package. You didn't see that?
I can believe that. But it looks very stylish. Like most things in Italy. Yeah.
I'll find some Italian coffee. Everything is gonna be all right.
Okay, we can pray for that. So, Alex, it's always great to see you. Thanks for coming on the show today. We will also publish snippets of this, and we'll also publish the full episode, especially the bit where I crashed out for a while and Alex was kind of freestyling, answering questions.
I was giving people tips on how to do successful AI transformation, like agentic implementation. So you might as well keep that in. I think many people appreciate that.
You should be giving them tips on how to not avoid the Riverside crashing and your MacBook crashing while you're on a live stream.
You can add that piece extra. Just add another extra part to this interview. Like, by the way, here are some fun tips for Riverside.
Yeah, send for a hardware upgrade. Yeah. Anyway, I hope you have a great time in Vilnius, and hope the AI Summit is good. And let's catch up soon.
We will make it good, Andrew. Thank you so much for hosting this. Thank you so much for the invite. If anybody wants to connect, you can find me just on LinkedIn as Alex Northstar. Follow also Andrew. He's pretty great. He's been doing this podcasting for 7 years. He's in the top 2% of the best podcasters in the world.
Okay. Thank you for that. That's a nice way to finish the show. Yeah.
Statistics. Andrew, statistics. We talked in the beginning. If you do more than 20 episodes, you're in the top 3%. You did more than 20. It's just stats. It's numbers.
I've done more than 120 either. So
There you go. Anyway. Top 1.7%.
No. I mean, the whole essence of the GNC sessions was always about bringing together, talking about growth, which is what we talked about today: personal growth, business growth. How do you use tech for it? And the whole thing about how you curate the guests is always try and bring onto the show some interesting people who've got some gifts and talents. So I think we've got a 4 ticks for that one today. So thank you, Alex, for sharing this today, sharing this time with us, and enjoy Vilnius, enjoy Lithuania, and we'll catch you when you're in a different country very, very soon.
See you around the world.
That was Alex and Andrew Turner, founder and host of the GNC Sessions podcast. Thank you, live stream. Thank you, Twitch. Thank you, LinkedIn. Thank you, X. I don't know if you worked, but we'll find out later if you did. And if you did, then we'll publish it later. Ciao, ciao.
Arrivederci.